There's a spirit at Bryan Health, a passion that says we can make it better, stronger, to raise our kids, to build our future, to move forward together. It's time for Bryan Health Radio. Here's Melanie Cole.
Why is a balanced diet so important with respect to heart health? And what are the dietary and nutrition recommendations to reduce controllable risk factors of heart disease? My guest today is Lauren Christensen. She's a registered dietitian and licensed medical nutrition therapist at Bryan LifePointe. Welcome to the show, Lauren. So why is a balanced diet so important with respect to heart health?
Well, first of all, what people might not realize is that 80% of heart disease is preventable. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that's good, right? We can control this. We can do something about, preventing this. But it's also kind of scary because we're still seeing those numbers. So what my part is, where I come into play, and what I'm most passionate about as a registered dietitian is the nutrition aspect. Certainly, my goal with my clients is to teach them that they can still enjoy foods that they love, but also help them identify how to create balance throughout their diet, adding in fruits, vegetables, things that are high in fiber to get them those nutrient-dense foods, but still not give up the taste profile.
And that's so important to people. They always they want to make sure that they're enjoying their food and that it's not all just sticks and twigs. But what are some of the dietary and nutrition recommendations to reduce those risk factors for heart disease, the controllable ones?
Sure. So there's been a lot of buzz lately. Obviously, the 2015 dietary guidelines just came out. And what they highlighted for us was some of what we have already been encouraging patients to do. But there's also some new recommendations as well, too. So, again, trying to focus on a variety of fruits and vegetables, getting a nice blend of colors throughout your day will help make sure that you're getting all the nutrients that your body needs. But another thing that fruits and vegetables give us is that fiber. So that helps keep us feeling fuller longer. So additionally, another thing that's high in fiber are grains, especially whole grains. And I think these kind of get a bad rap sometimes. People think, well, carbohydrates, we need to cut those out. But that is actually something that our body needs. We need carbohydrates for energy. So opting for those whole grain items is really going to be your best bet because, again, it's going to help keep you feeling fuller longer, but it's also going to provide you with a lot of beneficial nutrients that your body needs.
When we hear about fiber and whole grains, such great information, colors on the plate, what about portion control and moderation? Some diets, Weight Watchers and such, they really advocate portion control. And what do you tell your clients about that?
I think portion control is something that we do need to focus on. Overall, our portions have ballooned over the past couple of decades, and unfortunately, we can see some of that result in our waistlines, too. So what I really encourage my clients to focus on is being mindful of what they're eating. As far as cutting back on portions, simple tips like using a smaller plate that will still help you feel like you're not being deprived of anything is a good idea. And also cutting out distractions. So when we eat with the TV on or our phone right next to us or while we're checking emails, we're not really focusing on the task at hand, and chances are we're probably going to overdo it as far as portion sizes because we may not be realizing how much we're taking in.
What a great tip, and not to be distracted because people do mindlessly eat, and so much of it is about this mindfulness in nutrition. And what about salt intake and heart health and blood pressure? How can we minimize our salt intake without sacrificing the taste and palatability that people look for?
Absolutely. Sodium is a big thing when we talk about heart health. Again, in the new dietary recommendations, they've changed this slightly. They still recommend that people consume less than 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day. And while that may be difficult for us to do, it will really reduce our risk for hypertension and high blood pressure and improve our cardiac profile. But again, like you said, we don't want to give up the taste profile. I think it's safe to assume that we all probably know somebody who reaches for the salt shaker prior to even tasting their food. So that would be one of my first tips. Always taste your food first, and you can add a little bit of salt or a little bit of other seasonings to really enhance that flavor profile. But if you don't taste it first, you don't know how much is already on there. Again, another way to improve or enhance that flavor profile without even reaching for that salt shaker would be to try experimenting with different herbs and spices. Even adding fresh squeezed lemon or lime juice can really, really enhance that flavor of a dish.
That's great advice. And what strategies can be utilized to promote this weight loss? It's New Year's resolutions. People want to lose weight, Lauren. What do you tell them about losing weight besides eating healthy for their heart? But what's your best advice about weight loss?
So again, it comes back to being mindful, trying to choose foods that are overall going to give your body the nutrients that it needs, but without overdoing it. I think one of the things that we see a lot of times is people reaching for refined sugars and added sugar, things with added sugars, that again don't really provide us with a very good nutritional profile. These are kind of what we call empty calories, so say soda, candy. So trying to decrease or eliminate those types of items would be a great way to minimize your calorie intake and also help promote weight loss or weight management. Overall, decreasing your calories through, making those healthy choices at meals and at snacks. But in addition to that, exercise is also very, very important. Aiming for 150 minutes of moderate physical activity every week is going to really, again, help with the weight management. This doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be work. It can be something that you enjoy doing, but it has to be relevant to you, and you have to be able to want that for yourself.
What do you think of journaling to help keep accountability and keep track of what you're intaking?
I think it can be a really effective tool, but I also feel like sometimes people can get carried away with it. So a lot of times what I tell my clients is to try this for a couple weeks. I feel like once you start writing things down, you're, again, more mindful of what you're putting in your body. And I think over time, you will just gradually opt for those things, and you won't have to write down every move that you make during your day.
In just the last minute, Lauren, and it's definitely such important information, give the listeners your best advice for a healthy plate and a happy heart, and why they should come to Bryan Health for their care.
Well, again, I think that taking care of our heart is important. We can definitely make steps and changes, even small changes, to really improve or reduce the risk for heart disease. I think being mindful of our weight and taking steps to reduce our weight if we're overweight or obese is one of the first areas that we need to look into. But again, it doesn't mean that we need to give up foods that taste great. So we can still build a really healthy plate that's very flavorful, but just, again, focusing on those lean proteins, fruits, vegetables, and whole grains is really going to be our best tool to help reduce that risk.
And tell us about Bryan LifePointe.
Sure. So Bryan LifePointe, we are located in Lincoln, Nebraska, just 4 blocks south of 27th and Pine Lake. And we offer a variety of services here. So as far as from my standpoint, I offer 60-minute or half-hour nutrition consultations, and that can really be focused on any area that you're looking to work on. A lot of what I do, though, however, is deal with weight loss. We are a fitness facility, so many of my clients are searching for tips and tools to promote that weight loss.
Thank you so much, Lauren, for being with us today. You're listening to Bryan Health Radio. And for more information about Bryan LifePointe and their health and wellness activities, go to bryanlifepointe.com. That's bryanlifepointe.com. This is Melanie Cole. Thanks so much for listening.